And a good day, all of you. John Henderson here, the Beverage Ramble, back again with you. Another Beverage Ramble edition today. We're looking at Mexican Lager from our friends at Steady Hand Brewery Beer Company, which is based here in Atlanta. 5.3% ABV. That's what it says. Mexican Lager. 3.6 out of 5 on Untappd, but not much else. I think this beer has recently been discontinued. I think the brewery may have closed recently. I think it might be one of these breweries that just closed recently. There's been a lot of them, not just here in the Atlanta area or Georgia area, but I think other places across the country. There are a lot of other breweries have just been having to look at their books, look at their economics, and say, I don't know, should we keep going? You know. But in any event, so I might as well review it, put this on. The only beer I've done for them has been their Cloudland Hazy IPA. That was about 10 months ago I did that review. So about maybe February, might have been March, I believe. March or February, or early March I might have done that. So, here's what the beer looks like. With German pilsner, malt, Vienna Malt, local source corn. This lager is meld of classic and contemporary styles, crisp and clean with a kiss of sweetness. So, perfect for spring and summer. So, I'm guessing this beer will not be on the shelf. Again, I'm believing Steady Hand has closed down. I could be wrong. Shame on me if I didn't bring that up on update. But if I do, and if the information does say that that the brewery has shut down or no longer is in operating, then I'll put that on the comments. So now, it's hard to describe what is Mexican lager. I mean, Corona, Modelo Especial, yeah, they would say that, but they're more like your everyday adjunct lagers, but then a little bit more flavorful than, say, a Budweiser or a Miller High Life or, Schlitz or whatever. So, I know I've done Arches, which is a Mexican lager, and a few other beers like that, or some ones that have been like Grupo Modelo type beers, beers that aren't part of Grupo Modelo, Victoria, Pacifico is in that same category. So you definitely get a sort of a breadiness on aroma in this, because of the pilsner, the type of malts the pilsner malts that they mentioned that they use. It's 5.3%, so this is not a kind of a balance of a light, I would say not a light lager adjunct, but just by the way you look at it, it looks like a light beer, but it's not. So, all right, let's have at it. Cheers. You definitely get the Vienna, you definitely get the maltiness in this. And there's a little corn sort of taste in this. And it's decent. I wouldn't say great, but it's decent enough. So, I'm not going to say it's a crushable thing, but maybe because of the way it looks and the style, probably it is. As I mentioned, Arches, I think another That's local. Arches is a local brewery here, but also there are other more well-known nationally brands they consider Mexican lager, but like the Modelos and the Pacificos and the Victorias and the Coronas, Carta Blanca. None of them have that kind of flavor. Maybe with the exception, I would say, National Bohemia, which is part of the Heineken Mexico conglomerate, or Heineken International Mexico. They do Carta Blanca, Dos Equis Ambar, Dos Equis Especial, Dos Equis Ambar, Carta Blanca, Sol, it's another beer from that company too. I mentioned National Bohemia as well. More so, National Bohemia has that sort of pilsner feel to it, and I think this reminds me a little bit of National Bohemia, but it's not as light. And that National Bohemia is a little bit darker than this, what I'm seeing right here. I mean, it's good. It's clean, it's decent, it's refreshing, but I wouldn't put them in the same category as. Then again, I don't look at those beers. Never have. Yes, they may be brewed in Mexico, but those beers tend to have more of a Euro flavor to it than anything. Than this one. But again, I could be wrong, guys. Maybe similar, but I don't know. I mean, it's good enough, but I just don't like the term Mexican lager. I think it's adjunct lager. It's like they put those other beers as an adjunct lager, but hey, whatever. Decent, good, refreshing. As I mentioned, I did the Cloverland IPA, hazy IPA, and they have a bunch of other beers that they have on their portfolio. So, I believe the brewery is still in existence. If it's not, I'll let you know. So, shame on me for not putting that out there, letting y'all know in the beginning. But, hey, I come across as I do, direct, and let y'all know what's going on, straightforward. And you get the real logistics. And I'm willing to admit, hey, if I've mucked, not the F word, which is a muck, on something, screwed up on something, I'll definitely let y'all know in the comments. So, yeah, this is, I wouldn't say spring and summer sipper, but I think this is good to drink year round. But, go with the others, and plus the price point, probably be a little more less expensive. I should say, take that back. I think this was probably a little more expensive. The other products are more or less expensive, like Corona, like Victoria, Pacifico, or you're going to go to the Heineken Mexico brands, Carta Blanca, as I mentioned, Sol, Dos Equis, and whatnot, or Tecate Light. These are the beers I was trying to remember. Or National Bohemia. National Bohemia tends to remind me more of this one. And that one, for a 6-pack, probably won't break the bank versus buying a 6-pack or maybe a 4-pack of this. Craft brewery prices versus, national brands tend to be a little lower. More bang for the buck, as they say, I'm sure. But so as I mentioned, 3.6 out of 5. I guess this is a B+ beer. I will go with that. I think I'll go 8.7. 8.6 for this one. So 8.6 for Steady Hand Mexican Lager. Check it out. Who knows if this brewery's still around. But I'll let you know in the comments. So, but there it is. 8.7. B+ for Mexican Lager by Steady Hand. Check it out. You'll enjoy. I enjoyed. If it's still around, if it is, grab it. Because more likely it is gone for good. For good. There you go. Cheers. John Henderson Pierre, the Beverage Rambleton. Keep on watching as always. Cheers, live, laugh, and love. Steady hand, steady hand, steady hand. Mexican lager. My hands. And I got all that ink from work. Permanent marker. There you go. Hey. Hey. Cheers.